Eric Keller here, Enthusiast Auto Group. Today we're at EAG Super Secret Warehouse number 2, and we are with a gaggle of M5s. We're going to focus, though, on just one specifically today, and that is this 1988 E28 M5. This is a EAG signature car by the definition of the term. It's a fantastic number one condition example that has gone through EAG's Rejuve program now twice. It will be going through for a third time here upon the sale and the placement with that next loving enthusiast. It is a very, very well loved car that's got a really cool history and a really cool story, which I will be sharing with you here in this video. And if you've not already watched the Alpina B9 video, you're going to certainly not want to miss that. Probably have a video on this Euro Bumper E28 EAG repeat visitor coming soon. We do have a very new arrival 1M, a no hump. That's another car that EAG sourced from the original owner. And another nice little addition here to the EAG Rejuve program is a Sport Evolution from a very good friend out in San Diego. Cannot wait to get going on this car for you and get some seat time. And yet another Sport Evo. I think that'll be the 27th or 8th Sport Evo I've driven, which is just mind-boggling to even think about. I mean, talk about a dream job. I am very, very blessed and love sharing these cars with you and taking you for a ride when we have the opportunity. Speaking of the ride, that was that first drive in an E28 M5 that really started this whole thing that is become and morphed into Enthusiast Auto Group. It was a very captivating and enjoyable ownership experience, but a very educational one as well. And it, started with a trip to a local service shop where I was not treated exactly where as well as I should have been. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And well, here we are today doing just that. This car has 58,000 original miles. It's an all original numbers matching car. Everything on this car is it's fresh, it's clean, it's crisp. Early 2018, when we acquired the car for the first time, we spent about 15, I think, $1,000 investing into this car's future-proofing it so that the next owner just didn't have to do anything but enjoy the car. The original window sticker is still intact. I mean, how many times have you seen one of these? $50,500. This was a little bit higher than the original MSRP on the early cars. This is a 287 VIN, not a 279. Geek facts, not everybody gets into that as much as we do, but that is the second half of the production run. A couple real small, subtle changes during that run. If you have an E28, always make sure you got these little caps. Those are the catch. Caps, I guess I'll call them, that really allow those doors to shut smoothly and easily. Ivo out in Europe, I think he's in Holland, the Netherlands, was quite educational about those a long time ago at the Vintage when we ran into him. He caught about the only thing on a very low mileage car that we had rejuvenated that we had not quite yet got to, and those are now ingrained in my memory. It's a learning exercise, but every time we have those learning exercises, we improve, and it's an opportunity to, just do better every time we go through anybody's car, whether it's a Rejuve customer's car that's been shipped in from very far away, technically Europe, then now to California, or this car, which we actually did send to California as well, and that's, the storyline behind these very fun floor mats. Mr. Paul Zuckerman, who is no question a Porsche-phile and BMW, closet BMW nut as well. He's got a great Alpine White E39 M5 you probably have seen was Magnus Walker drive, I believe, as well as Matt Farah on various YouTube channels. The Smoking Tire, I think, is one of them, obviously. And Paul was interested in having a really great E28 M5. This car having been sourced from technically the second owner with every piece of documentation back to new, I said, Paul, this is going to be about the best M5 E28 I'm going to find and have for you. But if a better one does come up, or lower mileage one, I should say, comes up, I will reach out. Well, so he jumps in the car and has it for a good year and a half, has a very enjoyable ownership experience, and then a lower mileage car did indeed come up, and we traded. But he needed floor mats, and we didn't have the original floor mats, which are rarer than hen's teeth. So we had a set made and had them made with his name monikered into them, just as a fun little surprise when the car got there. The S38 B35, this is just, the ultimate final iteration of this 3.5 liter engine driven from the M1 M88. And I mean, the noises that it makes are just symphonic, would be the correct term. You see me keep flashing these VIN tags. That's every body panel does have one of those on it. You probably know that if you are watching this video, because you probably are a BMW enthusiast. So, original Cosmoline even. What's all that dirty stuff? No, that's the original Cosmoline that was the car left the factory with, all hand applied everywhere, which does protect that investment. And it is a very good way to determine the originality level of a car. A lot of guys will want to remove all that, and that's fine. It is your car to make your choices to make. But I personally prefer the preservation approach. They are only original once. Always check these as well. This is the forward facing. It's an open edge. This is a very good rust indicator. Using this as a litmus test is something I've learned over the years to identify how much salt spray, if you will, a car has seen, or anything that is going to corrode into it. And well, it doesn't get too much better than that. And this car's lived in New York, as you saw on the sticker there in the back. The first owner for the first 3 years was in Greenwich, Connecticut. And then an interesting gentleman that I don't really have a lot of history on, other than the 74 pages probably in this book, seems to be maybe a ambassador for the U.S. from Singapore to the UN. So we've got the original service agreement. We've got that registration from every single year, including all of these. We've got the original odometer disclosure. And again, trying not to flash any information, we do have, there's the EAG Rejuve, if we can flash that for certainly. It is definitely no shortage of improvements for the car's life, and now having another, I'd have to look for another $5, probably grand or so put into it in the last pit stop, as well as the next that is upcoming. We've got great compression numbers. You can't beat that. And then an overview of the service history, which is all in this binder. A whole lot of stuff. Let me see if I can find the one I was thinking of. Yes. And let me see if I can cover his name. I did. There's his address. I guess that's a public address we can share. So that's where all of the information was registered for that second owner. And then we've got the M register. This is, I've talked about this in other E28 M5 videos. Before there were forums, before the internet, there were newsletters. And this is the M register with any and everything you could hope and want to see about E28s and E24 M6s. It's just a wealth of knowledge. Stan Sim, I believe, there he is, was the main primary person responsible for sending those out and keeping everybody in the know. And again, just a community, a network, a group of enthusiasts that all shared the passion for, everything M. And there's the original sports cars, limited competition in sports cars. Pretty well-known and historic dealer, I suppose. A lot of cars that we've owned historically, including the E30 M3 Diamond Shorts on Cardinal that EAG's sold, 13 times. VinWiki video on that car, if you want to see the history of it, was sold originally by that same dealership. So that should give you kind of a good overview of the car's history and life. I guess I can fast forward post Zuckerman's update. We sold this car to another enthusiast, semi-local in Indianapolis, and he had a great experience with the car, never had an issue or hiccup, and that's what the Rejuve program function has always been in place to serve. I mean, that's the reason we do it, and want to support all of our owners throughout their ownership. And if there is an issue, certainly we'll help solve it post-purchase. But we don't have a ton of those phone calls because we just do everything we can to control the car's reliability moving forward. So this is not going to be a super inexpensive M5, but it is going to be a super top shelf example. It's a six-figure car, right there in the middle. Do give us a buzz, not in the middle between that and a million, but that between one and two. Do give us a call if you want to get into the specifics. We'll go over the car's details further with you, and certainly do stay tuned for more. We've got more E28 content coming up soon, and until then, see ya.